Hey y'all, Andrew Bateman here with GCK Kayaking Outdoors, coming to you from Pickett's Bayou with a quick product review that will mainly concern my fellow paddlers of larger stature. Now, I'm about 6'1", 330 pounds, and I've gone through so many different variations of PFDs and never been close to satisfied with any of them. I usually end up giving them away to friends and reverting back to those kind of crusty old orange ones we usually just keep in the boat to make sure we're in compliance with state and federal law and all that stuff. So I'm grateful to say that I finally found one that I am, for the most part, very satisfied with, and I can absolutely recommend to my my fellow large paddlers. So this is the Onyx fishing vest / PFD. It is Coast Guard approved PFD, and you'll find it on Amazon. It's not super cheap. It's about 85 bucks, but well worth it based on all the money that I've wasted on other PFDs. So good things about it: it's got lots of pockets. I'm not an angler, I'm not a fisherman primarily, but I can put all these to use. I like having this option. Also, one thing that was important to me was a high back, given the Wilderness Systems 14 Commander that I'm in has a pretty high back seat. Now, I will say the only con, if I'm being super nitpicky, the back of this comes to about here and the seat does rise a little higher, so it's not perfectly formed to the seat. Not a huge deal. I don't really notice it unless I'm talking about it. So that said, it's not too bulky for what it is, but like I said, it's still Coast Guard approved. You're not sacrificing any function. It's super adjustable. Again, I said I'm about 330, and there's a lot more adjustment in these that you can make if you're a bigger fella. So that's super important to a lot of us, and I know that there is frustration when looking online at PFDs that claim that they will support people with certain measurements, and then you find out they actually don't, or they're so incredibly uncomfortable that we're less likely to wear them. And that's kind of the crux of this issue. And I have in many of my videos, and understandably so, people have said, you know, you're not wearing PFD. That's kind of stupid. So I have two responses to that. And one, I'm not going to argue with them at all and say they're wrong. They're not wrong. I would certainly say wear it all the time. Do as I say, not as I do, though, in some cases. I'll be honest about that. So I do take the calculated risk, because there are some places that are super shallow, super familiar waters, good conditions, and I'm in a tremendously stable boat, about as stable as you can get, low center of gravity. And it's usually somewhere that I'm completely capable, if something were to happen, of swimming to the banks. And I have been able to get back in my boat once or twice here if I need to do that too. On waters I don't know, or certainly on more expansive waters, I'll usually wear PFD. But here's the deal. Here's the truth of what we're talking about today and why I think this is important. Again, I told you most of the time I'll have those kind of standard orange foam life jackets. They're uncomfortable. Every other PFD I've had is super uncomfortable, or they get in the way of your paddling or your motion, your mobility, and all that kind of stuff. And so there are several times where I've said maybe I'll wear PFD, and I'm kind of on the fence, and the comfort, or rather discomfort, keeps you from doing so. So we're a lot less likely in more circumstances to wear PFD if it's super uncomfortable or limits mobility. And that's where this excels so much, even for somebody of larger size like myself. So I completely recommend this. Again, like I said, it's got several pockets. It's not super tight. It's substantial enough that you can move in it. It's not going to hinder your paddle strokes or anything like that. High back, especially if you don't have a super high back kayak. I have not found one that's anywhere close to as satisfying to me as this one is. So check out the Onyx PFD. I think it says on Amazon it's a Onyx fishing vest / PFD, but again, Coast Guard approved. You're not sacrificing any function, like I said. So check that out. Now, it's quality. You look at the reviews. I'll also post the specs and things like that. But it's quality. This is going to last a while. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all. So to my paddlers of larger stature, and of course all others watching, I appreciate your patronage to the channel. And let me know in the comments if you got some thoughts on PFDs or some other brands or variations you'd recommend. Until next time, take care. God bless.